Is the new Minecraft movie dumb? Yes. Now, I don't think it surprises anybody that this film is not some avant-garde nod to how amazing cinema can be and the potential of filmmaking to touch our hearts and souls. No one was going into this movie expecting that. As someone who has played Minecraft for many years, I grew up on the game, had my own server. I've played on server with my friends and with strangers. We've played Bed Wars. I've beaten the Ender Dragon and the Wither. We've built worlds. I've created a few slavery farms. All the basic Minecraft stuff that most of my Generation Z did. And this is kind of really the first video game movie that I went to go watch that is from my generation. Never really played any of the old Atari games. I never played really any Mario games either, even though that's kind of like every generation's kind of thing. But Minecraft definitely was my thing. So going into this movie, I was expecting something to pull at my nostalgia. I was expecting some kind of emotional reaction to at least some parts of the movie. But I think the overwhelming emotion I have with this movie is indifference. I don't really hate it as much as I kind of was hoping to hate it, nor do I really love it as much as I was hoping to maybe ironically love it. And so most of this film just falls really flat for me. It is really boring altogether. There are a lot of nods to Minecraft gameplay and certain things that you can point at the screen and go, oh, I know what that is. I played the game. But those are actually surprisingly very far in between. It's not like a constant stream of just nostalgia bait. They'll just have a really random scene that doesn't even really fit much of the lore or story of the actual game. And then they'll talk about some of the mechanics, which is really weird that they spend so much time explaining so many of the mechanics, but then also introducing new mechanics that don't exist in the game, which is really strange. And there's also a lot of lack of references of stuff that I would expect. Certain things that have affected pretty much everyone who's played Minecraft, like a cobblestone generator. When we were all kids, we were all scared of Herobrine. There's no reference to even the very nostalgic music. As far as I could tell, they didn't use the most iconic soundtrack in probably all of video game history. They just didn't include it. So I felt like while this movie definitely had a lot of nods to many things in the story, like the zombie jock,
chicken jockey,
how to craft things, the
flint and steel,
a full diamond set of armor. There's a lot of parts in it that were like, oh yeah, I know what that is. But there was also a lack of certain things that were not there. We never go to the end. We never fight the Ender Dragon. There's no Wither. They never build blocks straight up into the sky. They never even really go mining. There's one shot of Jack Black mining for like 3 seconds. For a movie called Minecraft, there's almost no actual mining. And yeah, I get it. I'm talking about a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie, a Minecraft movie. It's meant for kids, but I was at a theater where it was either adults or teenagers by themselves, so that means that they drove themselves, so they were at least all 16 and up. Really know if this is for children. It seems to be the general audience is older teenagers and young adults that grew up on the video game. And the characters, I know the story is not going to be important. The characters are not going to be important. But it's really weird that the first 5 minutes is basically a huge exposition dump. And then we spend 30 minutes in the real world explaining things about the characters and their motivations and their backstories. And then we forget all about it for about an hour. And the last scene is a 2-minute montage of all that stuff getting resolved right at the end. None of these characters are important, impactful. They're actually extremely flat, and they're all basically the same character. Jack Black plays a loser, nerdy guy who plays video games, who is comic relief. Jason Momoa is a big, nerdy, loser guy who plays video games that is comic relief. Our main character, or our supposed main character, is a nerdy, loser guy that draws, who is comic relief, and he has a sister who at first is not comic relief, but then about 10 minutes into the actual Minecraft world also becomes a comic relief character. And then there's this black lady, which I don't even know why she's in the movie. She has no impact on the plot. She does not have her own character arc, and she also, you guessed it,
comic relief.
And so I'm not really sure what this movie is trying to tell us ultimately. The tone between the real world and the Minecraft world is basically the same. Characters just say exactly what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and what they need. And they had one of the most egregious product placement moments ever. This lady ends up running over a Minecraft villager and she goes, "Oh my god, I hit you with my Jeep Cherokee," or whatever the car brand is. And I was just like, this is the most product placement-y line in the world. And these Minecraft villagers are also nightmare fuel for me. They will be in the future. So ultimately, while this story is aimed for an audience of children, young adults, and people who grew up with the video game, it's mostly boring. It's mostly nothing. You can argue about this, you can argue about that. You can argue, why did they include Jason Momoa's character as a 90s video game guy, even though this is a 2000 video game story? I don't know. But does it really matter? Jack Black breaks out into song like 4 or 5 times for whatever reason. It's not a musical, but he just starts singing. They play a bunch of TikTok songs in a bunch of fight scenes. It is really lazy when it comes down to it, and it's just mostly boring and forgettable. I was expecting more rage. I was expecting more, I don't know, nostalgia. I was expecting something, and what I got was nothing, which is probably what most people expected. If you take your kids, they might enjoy it for the first maybe 45 minutes, but they're going to get bored too. If you're a teenager or a young person who grew up with this game, you'll get the references, I guess. And if you're an adult that never played this, I don't know why you're going to watch this. You're not going to get anything out of it. So I think I'm a little more disappointed, but also not surprised at the same time somehow. And those are all my thoughts about this. That's it. Like and subscribe. So I would give this maybe a 4 out of 10. As always, thank you for watching. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. The next one won't be a review. I'm working on a video that actually has some kind of substance to it. So stay tuned for that.